So we're going to be talking about cubes today and cubes roots. So we literally are thinking about a cube, and these get big very fast. So if this was a cube that was, we'll say 3 by 3 by 3, the bottom of it would be 3 times 3. And then how many layers of that would be another 3? So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So the cube root of 27, that's read as the cubed root of 27 is 3, because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Same thing for 4. What is 4 times 4 times 4? Well, 4 times 4 is 16, times another 4 is 64. So in a cube, there would be 64 cubes in a 4 by 4 by 4. You can picture that in your head, and it's 4 layers of it. It would be 16 on the top, and then 16, and then 16, and then 16 more. This would continue on. 5 times 5 times 5 cube root would be 125. See how big they're getting? 7 times 7 times 7 would be 343. 8 times 8 times 8 would be 512. 9 times 9 times 9 would be 729. Let's try this one on your own real fast. What would be 10 times 10 times 10? Did you get it right? It would be 1,000. Okay, so if you have one of these, you're just going to kind of look back at your chart. And so the cube root of 343 is 7. The cube root of 1, well, 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, so you're kind of thinking here, 7 times 7 times 7 is 343. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. So cube roots, you need 3 of them to kind of take them out. And we're going to be using those on lesson 5-2. So lesson 5-2, you're going to be finding the cube root of each of these. Now, on the last chapter, that was impossible to have a negative, because any number times itself cannot be a negative. This right here is impossible under our numbers that we know of. It's imaginary that we learn way further on. But that's not the same case here. There is a number that when you times it by itself 3 times, an odd number of times, does give us 64. So this would give us positive 64. So it's going to be the opposite of that. So negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4 is 64. So the cubed root of it is negative 4. And when you have a fraction, you're just going to do the cube root of the top and a cube root of the bottom. So what times itself 3 times gets you 1? 1. What times itself times itself times itself gets you 1,000. 10. I know it's so small. You want to think it's like 100 or something. But if you think that through, 10 times 10 is 100 times another 10 is 1,000. So here we do not have two answers. A negative times a negative times a negative is the only number that will give you a negative. A positive times a positive times a positive will give us a positive. That was different yesterday. In yesterday's lesson, we had to put the positive or the negative answer down because there's two different things that can give you a positive. Number 7 here, the volume of a cube is this. What are the dimensions of the cube? So the total space inside of a cube. Now a cube is a special rectangular prism where this, and this are all the same number. So what number times itself times itself times itself gives us 512? So let's look at our cube root chart. And the cube root chart of 512 is 8. So let's see. And our last one, show that both 5 and -5 work here. So remember, today our answers are going to only have one, but when we have the squared, both the positive and the negative. So my proof of this is 5 squared equals 25 because 5 times 5 is 25. And also -5 times -5 is 25. Both of these check out. And the solution to an equation is the number or numbers that make this statement true. As we move on, we're going to be finding multiple answers as you get into Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. Okay, that's it.